in a minority language.
Mr. Timmermans, I wonder if you were aware of the great anger and resentment in the United Kingdom at the perverse consequences of the European Convention on Human Rights. We have criminals, terrorists, murderers and rapists whom we cannot deport. Often they base their case on the so-called right to a family life, but this concept has been stretched beyond parody. There was the case of Lionel Hibbert, a 50-year-old Jamaican criminal who fathered 3 children by 3 mothers within 4 months of each other, and yet he successfully claimed he should not be deported because of his right to a family life. This situation has brought the ECHR and the European project into disrepute. What I would like to know is what action you will be able to take, assuming you are confirmed in your post, to sort this mess out, and to reassure the British people that people who are a danger to our society can in fact be removed back to their country of origin.
You know, if you go back to the very inspiration, to the man who brought about the Council of Europe, to the man who brought about the European Convention, I think we owe a tremendous amount to Winston Churchill. He's the one who inspired this idea that there should be rights at a level above the nation state that could be applied directly to citizens of that nation state. This has been an invaluable instrument in creating rights for people all across the European area. And yes, there are downsides, and I think we need to discuss those downsides. I think there is a fair point when the British government and other governments say, we see downsides and we want that to be brought into the debate. And I think we need to try and find solutions for this. But let me also state very clearly, be careful what you wish for. If you want to take away the primacy of the European Court on human rights, what the implications will be for those countries where human rights are not observed to the extent they are observed in the United Kingdom. They will see a pretext in the debate that might be held in the United Kingdom to do exactly the same thing and say, we no longer feel that these rights should be applied to our citizens. So I think we have a responsibility towards all citizens in the European area, also outside of the European Union, to make sure that what we do at a national level does not infringe on their possibility to have access to human rights, which in some cases is still in those countries, talking about Russia, extremely difficult to obtain on an individual basis. And Russia is working with the court, is working in the Council of Europe, where the few places where they do actually accept the rule of law. Be careful that we don't hurt that when we discuss the problems you rightfully raise and the shortcomings in the system of the human rights observation.
Mr. Timmermans, I wonder if you would agree with me that the European Arrest Warrant is causing great injustices. It overturns basic principles which have been treasured by British citizens for centuries, for example, habeas corpus and trial by jury. I have personally dealt with a case when 2 of my constituents were sent to another member state and held in atrocious conditions for 3 months. During that time, they were not given a trial date. They were not assured that they would have translation at their trial. They were not even given details of the charges they would face. This was done on the strength of minor allegations which should never have justified extradition. These 2 men suffered intolerable and wholly undeserved damage to their personal lives and their careers. This is just one example, but there are many more. Today, any British citizen can be shipped abroad at the whim of a foreign magistrate with no appeal, no safeguards, no checks and balances. What will you do, Mr. Timmermans, to end this injustice?
Timmermans.
Thank you for your second question. Sort of the mirror of your previous question, where you said that Europe gives too many rights to citizens of your country, and now you're saying Europe is not giving enough rights. I mean, okay. Well, I think, frankly, the European Arrest Warrant is a great success. If we really want to combat crime in this wider European area, we desperately need this European arrest warrant. And it's obvious that we need sound legal guarantees and sound respect for human rights of those who are arrested on the basis of a European arrest warrant. And obviously, I cannot, go into the merits of the case you raise. I mean, the way you raise it, it sounds horrible, I have to admit. But I can't, from my position, pass judgment on that specific case. But I do maintain that given the threats we face, given the great ability of organized crime to operate on a global scale, let alone European scale, fighting crime in Europe desperately needs a European arrest warrant. And I would see this as one of the big successes of our cooperation in the field of combating crime.